Anyway, we aren't here for that. Hello, everyone. It's time to get this show on the road. Fanfiction 10 Theater. I'm SneakyDevil. Let's go. Gonna make a drink. Yeah.
Cheers. I will also make a drink for now.
My grandfather, well, step-grandfather, has contracted COVID again.
Unfortunately. R.I.P. Bozo.
Despite being boosted.
Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah. And I was laughing at the table, and they're like, "Well, you're laughing." I'm like, "Well, my stepsister, is complaining about having contracted COVID several times now. She's boosted. My grandmother is complaining about contracting COVID, and she's boosted. My grandfather has contracted COVID, and he's boosted. And my father's contracted COVID, and he's boosted. And my stepmother's contracted COVID, and she's boosted. And yet, I have not contracted COVID.
You also don't leave the house, Sneaky.
Yes, but I live with them.
He's been around people with COVID.
Yes.
I mean,
Sneaky does regularly interact with them for extended periods of time.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
He hates them, but
to
he
both.
does.
Both parts don't like this.
But yeah, I mean, on the other hand,
and my
I
stepsister's
got the
just
vaccine and I got boosted once and I've never had it, so...
Yeah, my stepsister's just like, you know, Sneaky, you really should get that shot because you're like the weakest immune system of all of us here. You never go outside. And I'm just like...
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, she is wrong, though. When was the last time I was sick?
Yeah, chronic illness.
No, I don't
does
live
not
with
count.
you.
Yeah, chronic illness doesn't count. When was the last time I was sick? Fucking never. The last time I had the chronic illness.
Sneaky's never complained about any sickness to me aside from when, like, his chronic bronchitis flares up. And that's not something that can be fixed. That he's just stuck with that. If he's lucky, it'll disappear one day. But
I mean, it is disappearing. My high school years were fucking horrible. I was sick for whole weeks out of the month. And now I'm sick maybe like twice a year.
Progress.
It is. Yeah, it only took a decade.
Yeah.
That's right, honey. Mix into that whiskey. Give me something to shine. Alright, gentlemen. So, I was reading some Bloodborne fics, and I got, bored. And so I looked for more Bloodborne fics, because I really wanted to read more Bloodborne fics. And unfortunately, I did find actually some really good Bloodborne fics. Surprisingly, one of them was Harry Potter. Yeah. And that one's even finished. So that's cool.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. Wouldn't really recommend it to other people, though, because there's a lot of young adult angst in it, and I kind of just skip over those bits, but everything else has been great so far. Then there was this one. Which... Yeah. So I'll just post this link as per normal.
That's a title.
Yeah.
Excellent.
As you can see, it's got a whopping 90 favorites. And now, admittedly, it's only been updating over the past couple months. But that's still pretty bad. 22,000 words, 9 chapters. So again, that's a really, really low word count. About 3K chapters. The 3K word chapters. And I'll just scroll down. We'll get through the summary, and I'll scroll down a little bit, and everyone can see why maybe they don't have a big following.
What if we don't want to look? What if we want to go, I don't know, play Magic the Gathering, Sneaky? What if we wanted to do that?
Oh, that would require someone paying you money.
Yeah. You know, you can just leave Atin.
Yeah.
You aren't getting paid anyway, so why
no, I do eventually get paid.
Eventually, yes.
When Twitch releases the money, Atin and I do get a percentage.
Yes, Twitch just has to release the money. I have to wait 3 months after we reach $200.
They upped it to
Yeah.
I was
200?
gonna say they just upped that.
Oh yeah, they just upped that. Yeah.
So let me show you. Instead of it being 1 month after you reach 100, it's now 3 months after you reach 200.
Yeah. The 1 month after reaching 100 is for partners.
These motherfuckers.
Yeah, so about that money.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Wouldn't be
everyone
holding
should
out
give me
too
this
much.
Twitch Prime subscription so I can redistribute the money into my pocket.
You mean into vodka bottles?
Well, yes, that too. Das Vandanya.
Indeed.
So this is a Bloodborne Ruby crossover called Remnant of a Good-Hearted Hunter. Now, savor this title. And I do mean savor it, because this is the last time you'll ever see capital letters in this story.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at the page currently, and I see a couple of capital letters.
Yeah,
But,
Spag seems fine so far.
The spag seems fine, really, yeah. All those people that don't get capitalized titles. Like Murgo?
Oh,
Is
I
Margot
mean,
not capitalized?
No.
I'm not reading it. I'm just looking at it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Awakening.
I see Odon, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Awakening
Awakening
is
from the
properly
long,
capitalized.
endless night of the hunt. Elaine Alexandria Gunner.
Oh fuck the
Oh,
Swede.
well, we're
hell
already
yes,
missing a
let's
comma
go.
where there should be one. Alright, I take it back.
Yeah. Finds herself in a new world full of life and unlike anything she's ever seen before. How will the appearance of this powder keg hunter affect the world and its inhabitants? The hunter's endless hunt begins again. Okay. So
Okay,
this
in
is something.
defense,
Yeah.
they picked a powder keg.
Yeah.
Those people are fucking insane even by Bloodborne Hunter standards.
Yes,
true.
but also,
So-
if I recall, they weren't exactly hunters.
No, they were.
They were.
The powder
were.
the powder kegs were a split from the hunters in the same way the church was.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
I knew that part, but like they were more or less like not hunters. They were kind of called hunters, but they weren't.
They were
were-
Hunter x
they-
Hunter.
They were hunters in that they did participate, but they were looked at when they walked in the room, they were considered the black sheep because they went for big, heavy weapons with lots of gunpowder.
Yeah. Well,
They
So-
I
weren't-
was gonna say
They weren't good boys who used a stabby.
I was gonna say it's more along the lines of like you don't call a mercenary a soldier.
I mean, Soldier of Fortune.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
you have
they
to
were still
caveat it.
called. I think they were still
Yeah.
called hunters, but like again, they were looked at really weirdly, even with all the different factions we know that existed in the hunters.
Yeah. Also,
So-
the whole burning of Old Urnum.
Well, yeah, that one wasn't so great.
But yeah.
But they do have the pile driver, so
The hunter's
pile
endless
driver is
hunt begins
amazing.
again.
even if it's hard as shit to use.
Hello to those who read this fanfic. I just want to say this is my first fanfic ever, so please criticize me. I don't own either intellectual properties. Yeah, we know that.
Wow.
The battle
Imagine
with
myself.
wet nurse of poor Murgo, stillborn child of formless one Odion,
Oh,
was finally
yeah.
reaching its
Oh.
end.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that,
there's the Murgo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
my brain skipped
Okay.
over it
Ah.
because it didn't have to. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Also, this whole the way it's all phrased, it's very not English
Like
because
English
it's
is their second language.
I
Let us
Or-
No
find
idea.
out.
It would make it better if it was.
yeah, their profile is
let's
literally
see.
blank except for
yes.
the one
Wow,
story they
that is-
posted.
Wow. Yeah, that's a deep profile. Jeez.
Yeah.
The lore here is insane.
But anyway, so by English standards, the wet nurse is the stillborn child of the formless one.
Hmm.
According to how this sentence is structured.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
partially
think-
right.
Well, the problem is that Sneaky likes to conveniently forget that English is very context heavy, even in text form.
That's why I'm.
So you can still read this one of two ways. Sneaky's doing my job of being the pedantic asshole.
Oh
for
no,
once.
no, Max! Because he's missing the second comma. It's not saying Murgo is the stillborn child. He's saying the wet nurse is the stillborn child, because he's missing the second comma.
Yeah.
Well, that
I
second
mean, it
comma.
wouldn't surprise me if there was something that was both its own wet
That-
nurse and a stillborn child in Bloodborne.
The second comma should go after 08 and 2.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
Yes,
you
that's
really
what.
didn't need to add the stillborn child part.
No, again, this is something that's like, okay, it's like describing what Naruto looks like in a Naruto fanfic. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? See,
Yeah,
anyone
like,
who's played Bloodborne knows who the fucking wet nurse of Murgo is. And
Yeah,
who
like-
Murgo is.
You got to know the. You have to know the audience you're writing for. Like, we've had this discussion. If you're putting descriptions in for a crossover, you've got to be sure that you're putting descriptions in for the right one. Like my Halo Infamous crossover.
Right, yeah.
I describe Infamous because it's the lesser known game compared to Halo.
Thank you, Super Potatoes. I continue to appreciate your patronage.
Stop
Potatoes is too nice
enabling him,
for this stream.
Potato.
Potatoes is far too nice for this stream.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, still, the point being here is even though Bloodborne's the lesser known property compared to Ruby, no one from the Ruby section is going to realistically click on this story.
Actually?
Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Oh, way less. Way less.
Well, yeah,
think so,
maybe-
man.
I probably
maybe in terms of
about the
fanfiction,
same.
But
Like, If I was gonna do the crossover here, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be describing Bloodborne or Ruby. I would just assume that they would know.
Yeah, if you're reading a
Yeah.
post-Bloodborne story of an isekai into Ruby, the chances that you don't know what Bloodborne is when you click on it are so
Is-
low, there's no point in describing it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, in terms of fanfiction, Bloodborne is a lot smaller than Ruby, obviously. But in terms of like just if you ask a random person on the street, hey, do you know what Ruby is versus hey, do you know what Bloodborne is? I think you'd have a lot more people who know what Bloodborne is.
Maybe, but you also have to keep in mind that the people looking for the fan fiction are what's important when it comes to the fandom you're writing
Oh
for.
yeah, I'm just saying like in general.
Also, no, I don't
Right.
think that many people own PS4s.
Are you actually mentally retarded? I mean, yeah, I know you are, but seriously.
No, PS4 had a massive
Yeah.
was a massive success over its 5 to 8 years.
Really?
91 million PS4s have been sold.
Yeah, dude.
All right, well, fair
The
enough.
PS4 beat the shit out of the Xbox One.
How many copies of
Yeah.
Bloodborne?
Over 2 million.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
fair
and-
enough.
least.
I mean, here's the thing. That number's slightly inflated because they did give it away at one point.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Still, like,
2
honestly-
so 3 million, maybe 4 million copies at the mad most.
Yeah, but like,
Bloodborne 2 will not happen due to low sales numbers.
Yeah, but Bloodborne still is the 19th most sold game on PS4.
Yeah, 11.3 million people
So-
have played Bloodborne.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I would say that it sold poorly due to like maybe it sold poorly relative to a Souls game.
Yeah, so I'm about to
Yeah.
say, I'm about to bring.
For being
Holy
a
shit!
Souls game, yeah.
14
Oh,
million
Yeah.
copies!
Yeah, poorly for
Yeah.
a Souls game.
But I mean, like, look, maybe it's a tough pill to swallow for some people, but Souls games are mainstream.
Hold on. I need to see
Really
this.
mainstream.
I need to really see this.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
No fucking way!
That
Alright.
Moon. I love it.
That was good. Okay, you know what? I think that
Hats off.
I think I've seen this dude make shit like this before. Suni Legend, yeah. I think he's
Yeah,
made.
hasn't he? He's just doing a lot of really cool stuff with the bosses and their weapons, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's done
Yeah, he's
lots
still
of
one.
videos.
He's the one that went ham on the Crucible Knight near immediately.
No way. Okay, so he was just bound in that one. Okay, let's see. This one? Come
What
on,
are you
give me
looking
something
for?
good. No way. Okay, that's pretty. That's some pretty good shots. Like, damn.
Yeah. Oh
The
no,
man's
this
good as hell.
he does amazing work.
I mean, like, do you like? I cannot comprehend how good at Bloodborne you need to be. Like, well, not just Bloodborne. Like
This is
how
Monster
good do
Hunter.
you need to be to get that shit timed perfectly?
I mean, to be fair, you can just right if you know how to trick the AI, you can get it to do what you want a million times until you get the right shot.
Well, he could also be an absolute, like, giga brain coding master.
Like this
Full
dude?
assistance for some of them.
Like this is the full clip. Like, come on, you cannot tell me he's not good at the game.
I'm not saying he's not.
Like, I feel embarrassed just watching this.
I mean, to be fair, he's using quick step, which is cheating.
Is it?
It's better than the dodge roll. Like, it's better than the dodge roll, and then you've got
Okay.
Bloodhound's Fang,
The
which
timing
is
of the stagger,
Bloodhound's
like,
Step.
come on.
I'm not saying the timing on the stagger isn't good. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's doing. But, alright, they've got some hella good effects on that. But, like, Quick Step is literally just a better version of the dodge roll, and Bloodhound Step is just a better version of that. Like,
Yeah, I know, but still, it's like,
here's the thing.
It's a bit
Comparing
much
him to just like walk through boss fights. I'm surprised he had enough hyper armor to get through that, given that he's
No, the
Like,
hyper armor in this game seems to follow Dark Souls 3 rules for heavy weapons.
the style!
yes. Now that's class. That's some class.
Yes. The
Oh.
man knows exactly what he's doing.
God damn, the styling. I love this guy so much.
Toxic. Toxic.
And
Anyway,
proud
back to
of it.
this. But yeah, this is gonna be a mental grind reading. She stood towering above the average human's height, which could only be determined by the cloaked dress the wet nurse wore. Who's she? I'm assuming we're talking about the wet nurse. Adorned with jewels and silver. Period. It was a finely crafted dress, the embroidery showing the high status of the responsibility she was given by the Formless One, which is, again, for some reason, not capitalized. It even was fitted specially for her special needs, such as the raven black wings, and the 6 skeletal arms that each wielded long, curved sickle swords. Ah, yes, I'm sure she looked exactly like that before she got turned into a monster by Murgo. I'm sure she had 29 limbs before.
Yep.
Before
Oh,
Murgo.
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
obviously.
What, you don't have 29 limbs?
No.
The fuck? Weak.
Despite her size and lack of mobility, author, you're describing Murgo, so I'm sorry, not Murgo, the wet nurse, so you gotta tell me what do you mean she's not mobile? Why wouldn't she be mobile? She's got 6 fucking arms and wings. Why isn't she mobile? Author. If you're gonna sit here describing the entirety of this character that we all know already, why isn't she mobile? This is the shit you gotta, like... Gray and I just released a new chapter of Undying Scarab. Of course, that got lots of people trying to make omakes, scrambling for the legendary Apocrypha title to be bestowed upon their contributions. And we got lots of dumb shit. So some people decided they were going to start role-playing in our thread. And an old classic from the old Lupine horror days decided he was going to show up in our thread and proceed to do exactly what he did back in the day, which is just out of proportion escalate in an omake, labeling himself as this super duper my uncle works at Nintendo guy who's hacked Blizzard and now has the secret plot for the rest of the story. And yeah, and it's just like, bruh.
I will say though, Sneaky, his grammar has improved.
His grammar improved a lot.
That's great. He can still go up against the wall. But
absolutely.
As I was telling Gray,
I wasn't denying that.
I baited for that man, unfortunately.
Every
I
single
know exactly how bad.
Yeah.
We update the story, and people scramble to read omakes. I am just always reminded why readers stay readers and not writers. And it's because they have just no idea how to write. And not even talking about spag. I'm just talking about narrative. What's interesting? How to structure the whole thing. The pacing of it. Is hacking Blizzard really that impressive? No, because Blizzard always releases everything anyway. Like, there was shit for Burning Crusade in the original version of WoW. You didn't need to hack Blizzard for that. You just needed to install the disk. And Blizzard's kept that behavior up since forever. So there was never really a need to hack Blizzard to figure out what was going on.
There's so many stuff that's just data mined immediately.
They just realized recently maybe we should start encrypting it and not posting all of it to the PTR. They just realized this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with the most recent release of patches to their game, they just started encrypting everything. And they've actually not released any information for their next upcoming expansion. And they've also not putting anything into the game that isn't encrypted. And everything that they put into the game that's encrypted is apparently so encrypted, the game will come out by the time someone cracks it.
Huzzah!
It only took them...
It took them...
14 years!
No, it came out 2004, so 18 years.
18 years. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It took them that long to realize, oh, we should get an encryption.
We should probably stop putting everything public. What do you mean our big twist wasn't a surprise? How did you guys find out?
Why are they rebelling before we even did anything?
Indeed.
We didn't even make Sylvanas into a terribly subhuman yet. Oh, wait.
Anyway.
Well, she is an elf.
I'm not touching that.
Despite her size and lack of... yeah, technically speaking in WoW, Gray, elves are actually sub-trolls.
Yes.
They don't
That's
even have
exactly
the
my
dignity of
point.
being subhuman.
What do they mean by this?
Honestly, humans actually have the best lore for origin in WoW.
Oh, yes.
We humans came from a secret Viking master race
Oh.
that
Yes.
devolved into humans.
What do they mean by this?
Yeah, I tormented Remy with that a few times.
Yeah.
But let's see, blah blah blah. She made up for it in range and lightning quick slices. I thought she wasn't mobile though, author. That caught the good hunter, for some reason not capitalized, off guard the first time she battled with the monstrosity, leading to her death. If it weren't for the dream, also not capitalized for some reason, to sustain her, she'd be nothing but another corpse that littered the arena. With the dream, also not capitalized, power to snatch her from the claws of death, she gained greater skill and knowledge of her opponents. The nurse favors attacking from her right. Her lightning-quick strikes were predictable once she learned that the nurse's arms had a certain angle that they could turn. Everyone's arms have a certain angle they can turn. Author, your retardation is showing.
Wait, so your
Author,
arm is
you
just
failed
at 360
biology.
degrees swivel?
Yeah, apparently normal human arms can rotate a 360-degree angle.
Bro, my arm is literally just a Factorio inserter. I don't know what you're on about.
When I first learned about the weakness of flesh,
Exactly.
maybe the author's actually a squid. You know what? You're right. Maybe they are a kid.
Hmm.
I mean, Sneaky, they could be both.
You're right.
Oh my god, they're gonna fight Technoblade.
No.
Look out, he's got a roller.
No, fuck, oh god.
The battle became almost a dance of weapons. Also, for some reason, all of these squids that are fighting each other are smaller than a house cat that's really fat. So, like,
I mean, could just be a genetically engineered cat.
I guess.
Big the cat.
Bigify the cat, indeed.
Isn't that the Sonic cat? Or am I misremembering his name?
Yeah, no, his name is Big.
Yeah.
You're right, unfortunately.
Big taco.
I have one. It's amazing.
Oh, is
I
it?
love my big dog.
Do
Yeah.
you sit on its face?
Yes.
I see. The battle became almost a dance of weapons. So it wasn't. Fitting, considering
Okay.
the music box they carried that played music while they fought.
Benny Hill theme.
Definitely a Benny Hill theme, knowing this author. Maybe the author's very yeah. Yeah, the good hunter rushed this horrific dance. I thought it wasn't a dance. Author,
Thought
make
it
up
was
your
almost
mind.
a
Yeah, it
dance.
was almost a dance. Now it's a horrific dance. As much as possible, you can't rush. How do you rush a dance? Instead of many blows,
difficulty.
she made decisive ones.
Author?
Well, yeah, hold on. I just gotta. Come on, open up.
Face the wall, author.
All right. I can drink to this. I can drink to this indeed.
Cheers.
It's almost a dance of weapons, just like I almost care about this fanfiction. You know what? That's a fair point. Potatoes, that's a fair point. But that is far too much caring you're doing.
Exactly.
She did decisive ones, like sliding under a swipe to thrust her hammer.
That is unfortunately a move, so they're not wrong. The problem is,
It's
what
a dumb
powder
move.
keg uses the hammer?
I think a better question is she thrusting with great precision right in?
I'm also very confused. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gray. I understand it's an actual moveset. My confusion comes from the part where she's like, it's a decisive strike, where she thrusts the hammer. So it's a decisive strike in which she uses the hammer in the one way that does the least amount of damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Into the formless nurse, igniting the furnace inside that burned with ghostly blue flames. At the same time, she striked, sorry, before quick-stepping under another blade and getting very close to the nurse. What?
What does that even mean?
Aren't
Is
you?
this author even doing?
Aren't you already close to the nurse? To hit them with your hammer? Okay. Where she uses the momentum of her dash to drag her weapons on the ground before striking into the nurse's body, flinging the flaming dust and loose rubble all over the Great One. So she uses her giant hammer to shoot pebbles at the wet nurse.
This is not Elden Ring.
I don't remember the boom hammer doing that.
Is it
What?
even the boom hammer? Or is she using the Kirk hammer? Because it never
I
says.
No,
it's
it does.
The
It says the boom
hammer.
hammer. The furnace of the boom hammer.
Yeah, she
Okay,
says boom
then.
hammer right here. Yeah, goes to the furnace of the boom hammer. What?
Because see, I don't remember the Kirk hammer having a thrust.
Okay, so if you say
It does.
I am making decisive strikes with my hammer, all right. So what kind of strikes did you do? Well, first I thrusted the hammer at them, and then I pelted them with gravel. And these are decisive strikes.
Yes, it delivered a decisive pummeling.
Is that even a move in Bloodborne? To shoot gravel at people with your hammer?
Not with that boom hammer, no.
The boom hammer is meant to just smack
mean-
a bitch.
I mean, I know
Listen.
that you can drag the hammer and then do an upward thrust, basically launching them in the air, but
I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit creative with a moveset, but like
you have to
the
describe
way they're
it
describing
properly.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you gotta describe it properly, which, again, this is why readers oftentimes stay readers and not writers. At the same time, the nurse drew back and unleashed a storm of slices. Dancing through the flurry of swipes, gracefully moving through the swipes and slices that the 6 nimble arms of the nurse threw at her in quick succession. What? Alright, so this author has massive tensing issues. Because there's supposed to be an action in this, and this is all just passive.
Mhm.
Using the opportunity that was provided, the good hunter. Her attacking you is an opportunity? To.
What? Jump on a sword blade, mate?
Oh, quick,
Yeah,
she's
you know,
attacking
that's all-
me! Now I can
It's all
fight
the rage in
back!
Yarnum.
What?
My secret technique, letting you stab me in the chest!
Okay, Shiro, calm down. I'm not wrong.
No.
I didn't say you were wrong.
Yeah.
The Sonos is both nimble and immobile. Yes. The secret technique, dying. Yes. My secret technique, dying when I am killed.
Oh god.
It's
So
a lot
powerful.
harder to pull off than you would think.
Indeed.
I mean, listen, if your name is Shiro, apparently it is.
You know, I just realized Huskar would absolutely just be an amazing servant to summon in the Holy Grail War.
Yo, Huskar would be a fucking problem.
Huskar would be a massive problem.
Alright, hear me out, Sneaky. You summon Axe.
What class would he even be?
Axe Berserker. It's not even a question.
No, okay, hear me out, Sneaky. He gets summoned as Avenger for his dead
No.
army.
No, the army that he killed?
I didn't say he was a good Avenger.
No, he wouldn't get someone
Who's-
as an Avenger.
I'm sorry. So his target of revenge is himself. That's what you just said.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that one no.
Man, weirder shit's happened in Dota.
5D chess.
I mean, weirder shit's happened and Fate as well.
I mean, if anything, the only Avenger that would show up would probably be Legion Commander, and that would be Demon Commander, who shows up only if Legion Commander shows up as Saber.
No. Demon Commander could just show up as Avenger, like...
Accomplishes his own vengeance by committing suicide. Now, see, that's why Huskar would be great, because Huskar literally
Wait,
can't
I'm sorry,
die.
what did you say?
Huh? No, Super Potato
What did
says
you say about...
he gets summoned and accomplishes his vengeance by committing suicide.
Yes, indeed.
No, so Axe's lore is that he was a private in the army, and the way his army promotes people is by showing greater martial prowess. So the best person in the army is the general. And Axe didn't want to wait for people above him to die, so he went and killed all of his superiors. So he could be promoted to the top, because he was stronger than them, therefore he gets upgraded his rank.
Okay.
Which worked all well and good until he killed everyone else as well.
Oops.
So he was a little overzealous.
Yes, but...
Well, see,
But
he became the general, and then he decided that he had to make sure that the rest of the scrubs were good enough to be in his army.
Which they weren't. And then he proceeded
they
to
died.
1v army the enemy army they were about to attack. And win. Because Axe is amazing. But no, Huskar is great because Huskar literally cannot die.
Are you
So
sure
you
you
have
can't?
Yes, the whole point of Huskar joining the Defense of the Ancient fight is he's looking for a power strong enough in reality to kill him.
Oh, that's right, because because essentially Dazzle brought him back to life.
Yeah, because Dazzle brought him back to life using the mirror world, that meant everything that hurts Huskar ultimately heals him instead.
Yes.
And so dying is actually living.
So people
that
live
is some
when they're killed?
bullshit conceptual.
So what happens when a phoenix feather hits him?
Nothing. He
Or a
probably
phoenix
gets healed.
down? But it's the ultimate healing item.
Yeah, but you don't understand. He also can get normally healed. His blood turns into the most potent healing source in the world.
His blood is also fucking napalm, by the way.
Also napalm.
Okay.
Yes.
But if
literally,
he's been mirror worlded, that's not how that should.
Don't worry, Dazzle's a really good doctor.
Well, no. What Dazzle does is he inverts things. And so yes, functionally, things that heal should harm him, but
they don't.
they don't because that would make the game shitty.
Well,
No,
no,
that's not how.
Also because...
Either commit or don't, you fucking cowards.
Yeah, well, no, see, the thing is with Huskar, it's not just game mechanics that he gets healed anyway from healing. It's also that he can heal normally. And that's why he can normally heal, because his blood gets turned into the most potent healing item the closer to death he is. And so that's why he keeps getting resurrected, because when he dies, his blood turns so potent into a substance that he gets resurrected.
Yeah. His very lifeblood became a source of incredible power. Every drop spilled was returned tenfold with a fierce, burning energy.
Yeah.
However, this newfound gift infuriated Huskar, for in his rescue from the Nothel, Dazzle had denied him a place among the gods. He had been denied his own holy sacrifice.
Yeah.
Why did
Very
Dazzle resurrect him out of
Because
curiosity?
Dazzle thought he was doing a good thing and helping someone.
Dazzle is an asshole.
Okay. Dazzle wanted to White Knight and picked the worst person to do it with. Got it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's the thing. So he was a shadow priest. And he went on a spiritual journey to the Nothel realm,
Which is the mirror world.
which is we're not quite sure. It's just it's a higher plane of existence. He was the youngest dude who ever went. And then finally the elders were like, "You know what? Fuck it. We'll let this stupid young kid go just so he dies." But in this ethereal dimension, the properties of light and dark are inverted. Thus, his brilliant healing light, beautiful to our eye, is actually a sinister kind of evil, and the darkest deeds are done in a dazzling glow. The elder's intuition was prophetic. Dazzle returned to his people as a shadow priest like none had seen before, with the power to heal as well as destroy. Now he uses his gifts to cut down his enemies and mend his friends.
Yeah, so basically, Dazzle can just selectively say, I'm casting a heal on you. Everyone I consider as a friend is healed by this light. Everyone I consider an enemy is damaged by this same light.
Yes.
Okay, so he's a
like-
pharmacist. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much so.
So yeah, but anyway, so point being is Huskar would make a great berserker because he just would not fucking die.
Well, my favorite part is, listen, I still think my favorite part is Burning Spears, where he cuts himself.
Coats his spears in
Because-
his own blood and then sets people on
because-
fire with them.
Yeah, because Max, we know that he's
Sadly.
hurting himself in some capacity for this because it costs him 3% of his current HP to light this spear on fire.
Max HP.
No, current.
Is it current? Really? Oh,
It's current.
that explains a lot. Anyway, yeah. It's fun stuff. I fucking love Huskar. But anyway, he would make a great berserker in Fate. I would be fucking hilarious.
Okay, but hear me out, Sneaky. You summon Pangolier as Saber.
Oh no,
That asshole.
Well, okay, Sneaky, it's either Saber or Ryder, and for Ryder, he curls up into his ball.
Yeah, no, I
And
think
you ride him.
I would. Yeah.
Sneaky does not sound happy.
No, he would make a saber. Yeah. If anything, if Rubik was just if anyone, if Rubik or Invoker would end up being caster.
Oh, of course. All right. So Gyrocopter or Timbersaw as Ryder. It technically counts.
Yeah, technically counts. Gyrocopter would be just funny because Gyrocopter's special powers, he doesn't have any special powers. He just has a lot
He's
of
just
guns.
a fucking cranky ass old scientist.
He's a cranky ass scientist with a lot of guns
And bombs.
and nukes. Literal
Thanks.
nuclear bombs.
Okay, what the fuck would Morphling be? Like, you can nail down pretty much everyone in the game. What the fuck do you summon Morphling as?
You wouldn't, because he's an elemental.
Oh, yeah. Could you summon Spectre then?
Spectre is technically the shadow of a person.
That counts.
She'd
as
either
a
show up
servant.
as
Avenger.
She would either show up as
Avenger.
assassin
Avenger.
or
She's just too much of an Avenger. She's literally living out of spite and vengeance.
is she? No, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Spectre, yeah.
Wait, we have an element.
No, she's just a spectral being who is drawn to conflict.
Yeah, but you have to consider her Arcana, which is she becomes a spirit. She's a spirit of vengeance.
But that's the Arcana.
The Arcana is technically extension lore.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So the Arcana did change it. Yeah. What the fuck is Techies?
Techies?
Caster or archer, probably.
No, neither. I honestly, if you had to fit them into something, I would say, I guess maybe archer.
I would say they could be a really shitty archer.
Yeah, they would have like really low stats across the board.
But they do have 200 attack speed. Fucking stupidest thing. It's the Plink cannon.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Honestly, I would love to see a Dota Fate crossover Holy Grail War thing.
Oh, that'd be great. Like, there's some great stuff in there. Like,
especially if they get summoned like post Dota, because Dota
so that they're
because Dota's technically a time
max
loop.
power.
Well, yes, but no, because Dota's technically a time loop.
Yes.
I'm just saying post Dota happening, so they would all enter into the Holy Grail War, be like, this shit again. Hey, maybe
Not
we'll win this time.
Shit.
Maybe we'll fucking win.
At least I
this
get a fucking wish out of this one.
Yeah, right.
Also, like, there's two versions of this story where version 1 is it's just this random ass Dota hero with their obscene nonsense getting summoned to the Fate universe and being like, who the fuck are you people and why haven't I heard of you? And then there's the Dota Rumble version, which
you mean
is
Apocrypha?
You asshole! You again!
Red versus black. Isn't it normally green versus red? Shut up.
Isn't it 7v7 or
I can just
5v5?
imagine poor Slark getting summoned to yet another war. I just want to steal things!
I mean, technically, he would finally get out of the Deep Fin Reef's thumb.
I mean, yes.
Anyway, let's get back to this garbage-ass story where they're dancing immobily.
I'd be willing to write that.
I will write that with you.
Let's do the Apocrypha one, because that's just funnier. One team has to be Invoker, the other team has to be Ogre Magi.
No. Okay, hear me out. One team is the normal Apocrypha servants, the other team is the Dota heroes, and they're just like, they're trying to, the Masters of Black or Red, it doesn't matter to me, are sitting there like, what are these servants' true names? We have no idea who they might even be.
I'm the Ogre Magi,
One of
but
them
what's your
is
name?
red.
The Ogre Magi! No, your name. Ogre Magi. Oh, I said it 3 times.
No, I need your true name. Ogre Magi! Oh my god.
Can Squawky come along? Who the hell is Squawky? Squawk? What'd the chicken get here?
Where did the chicken come from?
Probably have to make it Yggdrasil just because of how Apocrypha goes. It'd probably have, or Igna Millennium. It'd have to be their set to get the Dota heroes.
Yeah.
Oh god, yes.
Well, they're also the only masters that we get to see that aren't brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
let's not forget that plot point. Team Red becomes a bunch of veggies.
Yeah,
That was
that's
not a
dumb.
great one.
Well, Apocrypha as a whole was pretty lame.
Okay, wait. Okay, Sneaky. Meepo, what does he get summoned as? But we gotta have Meepo.
Oh, Meepo. Oh.
No, not assassin.
Assassin. I mean, he technically qualifies for it.
I mean, okay, he has actually committed murders, so.
Wait, hang on. Meepo, the little mushroom dude?
Meepo, the guy who can replicate himself, yeah.
Oh.
Max, here, this dude. The dude with some of the best lines.
Meepo, the guy who was digging one day and then dug something he shouldn't have dug and then ate it and then turned into 2 Meepos and then 3 Meepos and then 4
and
Meepos.
then 4 Meepos.
And
then 5
Meepos.
Meepos. And then it stops. Unless he goes to see a 4-armed multi-dimensional wizard and steals his stick, and then there's a 6th Meepo.
What the fuck?
Don't worry about it.
You know what? For shits and giggles, he should just be the ruler for the Apocrypha War.
Oh no, if anyone's ruler would be Invoker.
Okay,
that's what I said for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Alter ego?
No one would
maybe?
expect
I
it.
don't fucking know, man.
Kid Voker.
Yes, Max, as a shitpost, Meepo is the best ruler. And here's the thing. Technically, he qualifies. He is the king of dirt.
Oh,
True.
but actually,
Yeah, he's actually the king of dirt.
He is the self-proclaimed king of dirt, and he has defended his title against all challengers. So by the rules of fate, he is the king of dirt.
he is the unrivaled king of dirt.
Yeah. Man, Demon Commander would definitely be an amazing saber to have.
Oh god, yes. Listen, okay, but like, hear me out. Demon PA still has Arcana PA still has some of my favorite fucking lore.
Well, yeah,
For
just give
why
her
there's
assassin,
two of
though.
those swords.
Yeah, but just give her assassin.
Well, obviously she's an assassin. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, you gotta throw her just because it's some of my favorite stupid lore. A demon made a sword so sharp that it cut reality into the past, and the past one saw a second copy of his beautiful sword and got so horny for it that he killed future him got so horny for it, he killed past him to get a second copy of the sword, and then he died because he killed himself.
The rooster from
Big
Beware of
brain.
Chicken ends up in the Throne of Heroes. Yeah, except it wouldn't because it's a rooster.
Yeah,
The Throne of Heroes is very racist.
Yeah.
it is.
Based. Also, it's been 50 fucking minutes already. What the fuck?
Yeah, but this is more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is way more fun.
Yeah.
Sneaky, you'd have a
Hmm.
point if not for the fact that you summon a literal anthropomorphized horse in Fate Grand Order.
Yeah, but Fate Grand Order isn't canon.
Yes, but that's also Lubu that fused with a horse.
Okay,
Yes.
what are the qualifications for foreigner?
Foreigner is out of context problem.
Entities
So
from
foreign-
different dimensions that are foreign to human comprehension. Spectre would be a foreigner.
Oh yeah, Spectre would be a
Foreigner
foreigner.
Could you see
anything-
Spectre being in a H.P. Lovecraft story?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Then yes, that would be a foreigner.
I was gonna say
Oh
Okay,
shit!
so-
You know who else would be a foreigner?
void.
Terrorblade.
Yeah, no. Terrorblade's a demon.
Yeah, but he was such a demon that he out-demoned all the other demons and got locked in a special demon prison that only he was
And
locked
then he
in.
broke out of it.
Then he broke out of it. Yeah. He broke
Oh.
not just broke out of it. He broke out of it without breaking out of it.
It's very fate.
It is extremely fate. He is
All I'm-
technically still in prison, but also on Earth now.
You know, all I'm learning from this is that I really need to just sit down and just read Dota lore.
The Dota lore
you
is fucking
should.
wild.
Listen. Genuinely, like, watching Slax's loregasms is some of the best, 45 minutes you're gonna have, because he really does a great job breaking the shit down.
Yeah, he does actually do a pretty good job of it, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, that would mean Visage.
Oh, you know what?
Void-
Chiron does get summoned as an archer, so I mean, I guess non-humans can be summoned from the throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, non-humans can be summoned. It's just very rare.
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay, so Sneaky, I guess that means things like Enigma, OD, Visage,
yeah,
all
they would
those
all
guys.
be foreigners. Yeah, they would all be foreigners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Enigma shows up. And what is your noble phantasm servant? Black hole.
I mean,
What?
except for fucking Io shows up.
Wait, hang on. One of the Dota heroes actually just has a black hole.
Oh,
Yes.
It gets where Enigma's the end of stars. Enigma's literally the concept of the death of stars or whatever, and then you have fucking Io, the sentient manifestation of nuclear bonds.
All right, I'm fairly certain that means that. Okay, yeah. No, this is a foreigner with an anti-world noble phantasm.
Yes.
Yes.
That is a.
Oh, you
That
know
is
who
one of
else
those
is
things
an-
where.
You know who else is an anti-world noble phantasm? Ancient apparition.
You know who else has an anti-world noble phantasm? Keeper of the fucking light, that genocidal lunatic.
Fucking bastard.
I'd kind of like to see Fate Zero occur with
Yeah.
these three characters summon and go was like, behold, Aya. It's like, oh, that's cool. We get in the world too. It's like, what?
Lol. No.
Wait, no, hang on, what?
I mean,
Because like
can anyone
that's one of
actually?
the
Can
things.
anyone from the Fate roster actually counter Aya? Sorry, anyone from the Dota roster actually counter Aya? Like, not like match it, but like counter it.
Technically Dazzle.
I mean, yeah,
If
I
you
guess
have
Dazzle could
anything
invert
that-
it.
Dazzle can
takes
counter
you
it for
out-
exactly one person.
Yeah.
Aya is creation, so or return to creation or something. If you slip yourself out of time or reality for a moment, because Avalon can do that apparently, you can dodge it.
Oh, okay. So then,
So Phantom Assassin could blur.
Well, it's
I would
also
say-
possible if you're tough enough, they can just tank it as well.
Void.
well, I was
'cause
gonna
it's
say, okay, in
Void
terms of
spirits.
removing themselves from time, Puck.
No, I don't mean dodge it. I mean like literally counter it. Like no you.
Anti-mage.
Okay, so
Anti-mage,
Aya's
yeah.
yeah. So
Fucking anti-mage can some.
wait,
Oh Jesus.
isn't
Because here's the
Animage's thing
Ia is
just
technically
countering...
a targeted
Yeah,
spell,
he just
so he
counters
just
magic. Yeah.
counter
Well,
spells.
no, Aya's not a targeted spell. Aya's
Well, I'm
Aya
sorry.
is supposed to represent the collateral damage that occurred during the week-long fight that Enkidu and Gilgamesh had when they first met.
Oh, okay. I was
And
gonna say,
it's
if it's a
described as the
non-targeted
world
ability,
being sundered 7 times.
if it's a non-targeted ability, then he can't reflect it. He is,
Yeah.
however, hilariously magically resistant.
Yeah.
So he could just tank it.
Probably
Yes.
That's what I
actually.
mean.
Fuck magic. This is a man who hates magic so much, his passive is mana burn.
He and Hobble would just get along so well.
Passively punches the magic out of people, also passively just resists magic. He hates magic so much. And it's not even like the thing about Anti-Mage is like he's not even casting spells. He just hates magic so much.
Oh, and by the way, it's not like he's a super special dude. It's trainable. He
Yeah,
has a disciple
100%
that he
trainable.
trained.
He can
to
literally
just fucking
train
hate
people to
magic.
hate magic.
Oh no.
He
We call that
trained
a problem.
people to hate magic just as much as he did.
I hate magic so much, I'm gonna be able to punch it out of you in 3 easy steps.
I am gonna punch the magic out of you. Can you do that? I'll have to find out.
He also has got a great finger snap that after he's done punching the magic out of you, he can make you implode by how much magic you don't have anymore.
That's true.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I really need to. I
Dota lore is
need
great.
to sit down and just dive through the Dota wiki in the same manner I used to do with 40k.
Probably.
Yes.
Anyway, so back to this garbage. Using
we
the
should.
opportunity that was provided, the good hunter pulled the hammer back on the weapon using her shoulders. Pulled the hammer back on her weapon using her shoulder.
Interesting tactic.
I have never heard of reloading your gun using your shoulder before.
Like, damn, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's...
Wait.
I mean,
What?
Hold the hammer back on the.
country girls make do, I guess.
That's definitely not how you use the boom hammer.
Yeah.
And
While
I,
she ran at the nurse to ignite the furnace of the boom hammer.
That's not how that's meant to be. Listen, the powder kegs were crazy. I'm pretty sure even they would take a moment and be like, "Are you sure you want to stick that kind of force right by your head like that?"
Well, I mean, not only that, I'm not sure how she's supposed to pull the hammer back using her shoulder.
Yeah, take a look at the boom hammer real quick in another tab.
Yeah, I'll open up the boom
It's
hammer.
not the way they're describing it is not what I would call viable.
So this is what the boom hammer looks like. Is there like a trigger on it, or like a hammer cock
On
on
the
it?
handle, yes. So what normally happens
No, I mean a
is
trigger, yes, but I'm talking about like a.
you grab it by that spike there and yank the spike and flip it towards yourself, and that opens up the furnace. If I'm remembering the trick correctly, it's been a few years.
Huh.
Gray, you put
well,
hundreds of hours in
yeah,
that game.
hold
That
on,
sound
let's
about
see,
right?
Boomhammer, yeah, here, move set
It's been a
showcase.
long
Here we
while
go.
since I've seen Boomhammer.
All right.
The entire mechanism is basically on the head. In very little else is there. If I'm remembering it right.
Wait, are they saying because the hammer hits the ground, it's spraying gravel at people?
Yes. Yes, that's what they said.
Apparently.
Might, yeah.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking. Okay, so here we go. Back step in there too. Okay, yeah. Let's playback speed times 2 this shit.
Yeah, the specific thing they're describing will be for the transformation.
Oh no! Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So they're banging the hammer furnace against their shoulder. Okay.
Oh, they are. I've never paid close enough attention to that. Then I always thought that was them slamming their palm against it.
Huh.
No, they're
actually using their shoulder for
they're
it.
actually using their shoulder for it, but.
All right, you know what? The
So
powder kegs are way more cracked than I thought.
So the problem here, though, is that they are terrible at descriptions, because her weapon is a hammer, and they haven't identified the weapon as a boom hammer yet, even though we all know it's a boom hammer because the furnace. But they haven't identified the weapon as a boom hammer yet. But they said they pulled the hammer back on the weapon using their shoulder, which makes no sense in context because they only finally identify it as a boom hammer after saying all of that.
Yeah, at the end of the action.
What cringe are we reading today? A
not
Bloodborne Ruby Cross.
Only the best for Sneaky's followers.
Only the best. She quickly swept to the left, getting behind the nerds. Wait, hold on.
Wait, did you just say getting behind the nerd?
Don't worry about it. When with the weapon ignited, she slammed the hammer into the side of the nightmare's leg, followed by an explosion of ghastly blue flames. You're using ghastly way too much, author. That staggered the formless one back. Now she's got a form. She 100% has a form.
She's got a form. You're beating the shit out of it.
Yeah. If only for a moment, one that the good hunter must use. What the fuck does that mean? Just say she was staggered. Fucking Christ. She quickly swept to the left, getting behind the nurse. She began prepping her final attack. God, Jesus fucking... This fucking tensing is god-awful. Jesus Christ. The hunter pulled an empty syringe out of her bag and jabbed it into her leg, drawing out her blood to be used as a medium to expand her many quicksilver bullets. That's not how blood bullets work. She didn't bother using...
It is.
Well,
it's a temporary increase.
Well, yeah, but I thought you can only use that after you ran out of bullets.
No,
you can use that
okay.
whenever.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a one-time use.
It's
per life.
Let's see.
No, it's a one-time use, but if you use it, you have to wait until you use those 5.
Uh-huh. There's a good Bloodborne Ruby Cross. Yeah, I'm actually reading a decent Bloodborne Ruby crossover. I say decent, I mean decent for the section. It's called John the Ruin Master, and it's John, but he went to the dream and learned all of the Bloodborne runes.
Oh.
And then went back to Ruby. A little bit off in the head because he learned all of the Bloodborne runes.
Insight gained?
I very much hope that he sees some horror like shit with Ozpin then.
He thinks Ozpin's a kin.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. He immediately looked at Ozpin and was like, "What the fuck's a kin doing here?"
Do I
Please
need
tell
to
me
kill
his
this?
second impulse was rip and tear.
No, it was not. Because apparently he became a church executioner.
Oh.
Yes.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is bad.
Isley says,
absolutely.
as a reminder, it's not one-time use. It just takes health each time, and you need to use all the bullets first.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Gray just covered that. Yes. That was my mistake.
It wasn't the one I was thinking of, Sneaky, but I'm interested in that as well. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them in the past. The Garmin one was also pretty interesting, and it was actually good. It's unfortunate that one's dead now.
There's a Garmin
Yeah,
crossover.
so basically it follows the plot line of the hunter killing Gurman instead of accepting their own death. And Gurman, upon being killed, instead of just being dead because he's dead IRL, instead gets isekai'd into Ruby, at which point he meets up with Ozpin and goes, "Why the fuck do I smell magic on you and the gods on you?" And Ozpin's just like, "How the fuck can you use magic?" And they're both just like, "Okay, I'm like 500 years old." And Ozpin's like, "Yeah, I'm like 5,000 years old." And they're like, "Ah, shit, we're really old. Bros."
Ah, shit, let's go be old together.
And
Old
then,
people be like,
Alright.
yeah,
hello, I am old.
yeah. They bonded over being really fucking old and having seen things that no man could see without being insane.
Also known as being old.
Yes, also known as
Unfortunate.
being old, yes. The German one, yeah. Pretty good. She didn't bother using any of the vials of blood to replace what she had lost because that would have wasted precious seconds that she instead used to coat bone marrow ash along the obscene weapon in her left arm to increase its firepower. In her left arm? Oh,
That's not how that works.
you mean the one she's holding in her left hand? This isn't Sekiro.
It could be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would be something.
That would be an occurrence.
Fucking Dota versus Soulsborne. Apocrypha.
Oh, no. I mean, listen. The wolf would fit right in.
Soulsborne versus versus Dota Apocrypha Fate style.
Oh god, no, we're done. Move on. We'll write our stupid story later.
No, we won't.
No, but we'll write a few ideas down for it and laugh about them.
Possibly. In her left arm. Oh.
Nope. This is, I see. Back to
Mm,
Sekiro.
that wasn't apparently a mistake. Was a hunk of circular metal decorated with intricate engravings. The cannon of the powder kegs deemed too inefficient with quicksilver bullets to be used against your average beast. She replaced her left arm with it?
That's a lot of weight.
That's literally the only way I can imagine you integrating the cannon into your body is you have to whole-handedly replace your fucking arm. Like, you wouldn't be able to have a hand and still fire. Like, bracing that thing on your arm without a handle or anything? Yeah, I'm just carrying around a cannon in my arm? Like, no.
Oh, not with that attitude.
No, definitely not with that attitude, but still at the same time, nah. Also, Powder Keg Dream Hunter, how? Like, that timeline doesn't match up. Like, the Powder Kegs were long before the Dream Hunter. The Good Hunter, I should say.
Like, she could be a revival type thing,
Yeah,
but
she
she
could-
would be the only one at that given point.
No, there'd be one other. Durga, I'm pretty sure, is a powder
The
keg.
Jura, yeah.
Jura, Jura
But,
is, but at the same time, he stays there, and he's the
Wasn't
last
he supposed to be
one
the last of the Powder Kegs, though?
yes.
There's 3 of them still alive. There's the
Oh.
mad guy with the Gatling gun,
Uh-huh.
and there's the guy under Jura, and then there's Jura.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, Mad Guy with the Gatling gun.
This is the Old Hunters DLC.
Oh, right.
That guy's a powder keg.
That dickhead.
Yes.
Right.
The funniest part is that that's actually a Gatling gun.
Yes.
Yeah. Unlike how everyone else misuses the word, they actually use the correct word. That's actually a Gatling gun.
A handheld portable Gatling gun.
I mean,
Great
That's
fun to
God
use.
intended.
the original Gatling gun was also portable.
Portable
Yes,
is
but it wasn't
yes.
handheld.
it's a strong term, but yeah.
I mean, technically could be.
Yeah, I mean-
if you had the right brace for it and everything. Like the thing
Yeah,
with
okay, Sneaky. By that logic, I can also brace an M1 Abrams tank. I can handheld
no, you couldn't.
M1 Abrams turbine.
No, you
I have the
couldn't.
right brace.
Not at all. No, like it wouldn't be portable or braceable at all. The whole reason why the turret of the M1 Abrams can even fire is the fact that it's on a fucking mounted platform. Like the thing is with the Gatling gun is that it was fired by a hand crank, which meant that it could only fire as fast as you could crank it, which meant the recoil on it was actually minimal compared to the guns of this current day and age. It was actually comparable to a musket back then. So, yes, technically you could brace against that. Yeah, it would be fucking obnoxiously heavy, don't get me wrong. It's like, what, 30 musket barrels? That's a lot of fucking metal and obscenely heavy, but it actually is braceable.
Yeah, so the first Gatling gun, the original one, weighs 77 kilograms or 170 pounds.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop it from, yes, it makes it obscenely heavy and almost uncarryable, but it is still braceable. You can still brace against the recoil of that gun.
Yeah, just put it on the mount.
But you wouldn't be able to do that to an M1 Abrams cannon.
Not with that attitude.
We have specific meetings about not trying to hand brace a minigun. It does not work. No shit. That's because the miniguns fire fucking 5mm up to 12mm rounds, which are obscene. Also very fast.
Indeed.
Also, it would be ridiculously heavy.
Minigun actually go burr.
Yeah, minigun actually go burr with some very big bullets.
Yeah. Depending on the gun, it's very much not so mini either.
I don't remember why it was called the minigun.
Wasn't mostly as like a joke.
I think it was as a joke, yeah.
No, wait, no, the minigun. It's because it's the downscaled version of the Vulcan.
Ah,
Because the Vulcan is the original 20mm rotary cannon.
right. Yes.
And the M134, I think.
We have
minigun
meetings about
is
not
the-
trying to hand brace the
606.
Abrams turret. I see. Yes, that probably would be something you should tell your tankers who are weebs and likely have more testosterone than sense.
Now, Sneaky, be fair. It's also possible they've read too much 40K.
with
Yeah,
ice,
but they're more
probably
likely
both.
weebs.
I'm aware, but the possibility exists.
I just like that that's talked about, which means it was likely an incident that occurred at
Oh,
one
yeah.
point.
It's
Someone
always
did
an
it.
incident.
I
love
mean,
it. It's like, we didn't think we'd ever have to tell you this, but today we have to tell you this.
Like, have you ever seen what happens when someone stands behind the artillery platform?
Can't say I have.
Let's just say the person getting away with an impacted rib cage is getting off lightly. I mean, turning that convex rib cage concave.
Yeah. Inverted ribcage.
Yeah. Bit of column A, bit of column B, yeah.
I cast
Yeah.
inversion on your fucking ribcage.
Yeah, you know how I know about why you shouldn't stand behind artillery? Because I tried bracing a potato cannon
Oh, you dumb bastard.
with my chest.
You're a moron.
Yeah.
And it worked, but I also flew into the sliding glass door.
Yeah.
Now, two things should be said about what happened. The
I
first
wish
thing,
I could say I feel sorry for you, but I don't.
the first thing is we used 3 cans of hairspray as propellant.
Oh my god.
The second thing is we used a 20
Yeah.
millimeter pipe
Yeah, that's
and a cabbage.
That's some pressure right
A
there. my
frozen
guy.
cabbage.
Ah.
The third thing
Yeah.
is the tree came out worse than I did.
Doesn't surprise me.
You know, I love Sneaky. Whenever people are like, how did our generation survive? You're one of the poster children for it.
Or like the time I was tobogganing downhill and I was like, ooh, if I lean in this way and get everyone to follow me, we can reach maximum speed. Which worked fabulously, might I add, until we reached the bottom and I realized, yes, we are still going max speed. Which was apparently 43 miles per hour. Because the entire lower half of the hill turned into ice. And,
That sounds like an issue.
I realized as we were approaching the bottom of the hill, oh no, the 5 feet of snowbank is not going to stop us. But you know what did stop us? The third tree we hit.
Yeah.
The first 2 were collateral damage.
Why?
I
Of
feel
course.
like Sneaky's life could be described as collateral damage.
You would not be that far from being incorrect. Though it has actually been a long while since I've done something exceptionally stupid.
That's because you matured somewhat.
No, it's mostly because doing exceptionally stupid things actually costs me money these days, which I don't have a lot of.
Like I said, matured.
That's fair enough, I suppose.
Adulting sucks.
Being poor sucks. Now, if I had a lot of money, I probably would not die by heroin overdose. I would probably die doing something exceptionally stupid.
By that,
So just
Yeah.
just returning to form, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I would do something exceptionally stupid. I don't know. I can't think. Nothing really comes to mind, actually. Maybe trying to see how much dynamite it takes to blow up a frozen lake. That'd be
I
fun.
Sounds like a good
promise
start.
you, there's a Suthner somewhere that's made a blog on that.
It probably is.
You should go make friends with them.
I might.
you shouldn't because you'll get yourself on another fucking list, Sneaky.
I'm on all the lists that
He's
matter.
own enough lists. What's another one at this point?
Yeah, it's like I'm just collecting them
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, it's for his own list, you know. Get all the lists.
It's
Is it
part
on
of
your
my
bucket list?
Yes.
I'm glad we had the same stupid fucking joke, Sneaky.
The cannon of the powder cakes! Against the many massive foes she had fought over the course of her unending night, it became the staple of her arsenal, her hand cannon, literally emphasis on the hand part. With all of the prep work she had done, she raised up the weapon, and that managed to save her from being cleaved in half because the nurse had attacked her while turning to the good hunter, her blade slamming into the side of the cannon, but it did not slice through. Before she could follow up with another slice, her being the nurse, not the hunter.
Of course.
The hunter fired the powered-up cannon. The recoil forced her arm back and behind her, so it snapped her shoulder? So if your hand is in front of bracing to fire a cannon that's inside of it, and the recoil is so much that your hand is now behind you, I hate to break this to you, author, but your shoulder is no longer. Because the wet nurse of Murgo is not the only person with limited mobility of the joints.
No. Just walk it off.
I mean, now then again, their entire left arm might be replaced with a doll joint. At which point, I could be like, okay, yeah, fair enough, fine, I guess. You know, if
Fair
it's just
enough.
a full-on ball joint
You know,
using doll mechanics,
Yeah.
spun around backwards to
I mean, that'd
soak
certainly
the
be an
recoil.
interesting. Well, it could also just be a quick release, so whenever it exceeds a certain amount, it just pops out to reduce recoil on the body.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, I could
That might
actually
be
believe
fun.
that'd actually be a cool reason as to why there's a cannon in their arm.
Yeah, we don't get that though.
No, except that's not here. No. The recoil forced her arm back and behind her, and she used the momentum that gave her to spin even faster. What? But no, that's not how momentum works.
Nope.
To spin faster than she could even see to accomplish such forces. What? She then used that momentum to spin and slam the invisible face of the nurse, followed by crunching snapping of bone. What? Normally, this would be impossible for humans, but because of blood, her muscle density was 5 times that of a normal man. What?
All right, yeah, sure, whatever.
I don't think that's how
That
works.
has nothing to
Okay.
do with that. Has nothing to do. Like, if anything, a greater muscle density would just mean you can't spin with the recoil. Like, also, if God, I hate authors who. Oh wow, that extra shot of whiskey is really doing me in. Ooh,
Doing the favors.
it's doing me favors. I can drink to that.
Cheers. I will also pour myself more alcohol.
Cheers. I can drink to that.
You mean funny water, right?
Yes, the funny
Yes.
the funny brown
Yeah.
water.
There you
Funny
go.
water that's definitely
Legal.
water based.
Yes, water
Yes,
based.
legal, of course.
Heavily legal water.
It's legal in my jurisdiction.
Double water.
Couldn't drink over there, but I'm not over there. So
Indeed. This allowed her to stand her ground. Wait, but I thought she just used the momentum from not standing her ground to spin.
Yes.
spin on the ground. With Beyblade, you know.
So she used the recoil from the cannon to spin an attack, but she also used the recoil from the cannon to not move.
Did she
Yes.
get on the floor? Did she do the dinosaur?
Science is still out on that one. One day we will find out.
I feel like I'm not drunk enough for this, Vic.
You're probably not.
Allowing her to fire the cannon one-handed. If you're capable of not moving when firing the cannon one-handed, then you wouldn't be able to use the cannon firing to spin yourself in a circle. Those are contradictory statements, author. The nurse was reduced to nothing but a cloak floating strangely a few feet off the ground, with his source of prolonged. Wait, whoa. The wet nurse was a him?
That is
As
interesting.
far as I'm aware.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Think about
I'm
that.
just gonna punch this here into The wet nurse is a woman who breastfeeds and cares for another person's child.
Yeah,
Are
but
you
Sneaky,
sure about that, author?
it's the current year, Sneaky.
Shut the
You can
fuck
be
up.
whatever you want. Remember, words don't have meaning anymore.
My bullets fucking do.
True.
The wet nurse was using blah blah blah. It was a source of prolonged life. Dead. The cries of Murgo resounded through the arena once more before they simply stopped, putting an end to the endless night. She stood there for a moment. The only sounds gracing her ears were the sounds of her heart beating quickly, the sound of her own panting, and the ringing she had from firing her weapon. Walking to the center of the arena, there was a small unlit lamp. She leaned over the final bell-adorned lamp. With a snap of her fingers, she kneeled and let the solemn mist take her consciousness back to the dream. She awoke and spoke the first word she had spoken in what felt like months within the endless night. What in the bloody hell? The hunter's dream, her only sanctuary on this hunt, that had lasted so long, without an ellipses, burning. Apparently there's multiple non-ellipses in this story. A lot of non-ellipses. This is, yeah, okay, so the author doesn't know what an ellipses is. She walked up the curved stairs and into the workshop that was surprisingly still intact, even if she could feel the heat coming from the flames. The many weapons, firearms, and tools she found along her endless hunt decorated the workbench, small fireplace, and bookshelves. The weapons decorated the bookshelves.
Okay then.
Oh, all right. The wooden altar with a simple blood-stained cloth on top of it. She opened the storage coffin and grabbed more quicksilver bullets, vials, ashes, oil urns, and many assorted Molotovs and delayed Molotovs. So, how do you have a delayed Molotov?
That's just an item. It basically it
I guess.
ticks and then explodes.
You put an
Molotov
extra
with a
long
fuse.
rag on it.
That's not how that's supposed to work.
Well,
At
you
all.
know,
They exist.
sometimes you just gotta
I mean,
get creative.
yeah. If it was like a delayed fuse on an incendiary grenade, sure, but an impact device like a Molotov?
Yeah. When she was
Not
about to
very
turn around, she
cool.
was met with a woman's soft, soothing voice. Good hunter, you have come. You still can't capitalize that, can you? That's fascinating. Dawn will soon break. This night, this dream will end. German awaits you at the foot of the great tree. The good hunter simply nodded and turned to see the finely dressed, polite, pale image the doll had. It was sad that she would never get to see her again after this, for the good hunter knew she was more than a simple doll. No doll shed tears of joy. No doll spoke or moved. No doll said she loved hunters that made her. The doll was the only one who had brought her back to the sanity by using her many echoes and channeling them into her strength, skill, endurance, vitality, and even the arcane. It made her a very powerful force, one on par with the Great Ones themselves in terms of physical strength. That's factually false. The Great Ones were powerful beings that had long transcended, and their physical strength wasn't the only oddity, for she had surely slain any of the Great Ones other than Murgo. The damnable amygdala, which is a very common Great One. Well, it's not a very common Great One. It's a singular Great One that are all thought to be the same Great One with many bodies. There's a very big difference, author, and you clearly didn't figure that fucking out. For they were greater than humans and beasts and did not need physical forms to exist and could live within nightmares and higher planes as well, and that begged the question, could they live within dreams? I mean, and the answer is obviously yes. It's not a question. Like,
It's a pretty simple solution, really.
yeah, I mean, like, if you do the communion, which technically is canon, the communion dungeons are technically canon. You fight great ones in there that are ones you've already fought. which means that they can exist in multiple places and multiple times and in places that don't technically exist.
Generally make a fucking nuisance of themselves.
Yeah, they don't technically exist and all of that fun stuff, and you know, not really sure why you're trying to be philosophical at this point, author, because you're being wrong.
In your
A
attempt to be
fanfiction
clever,
author
you were
being
fucking
wrong.
wrong.
Perish the thought.
Yeah, an author being wrong. I realize this is a outlandish, outrageous idea.
Controversial
Yes.
statement,
Thank you
Donna.
to Jin for pointing out why you never stand behind artillery. And yes, Gray. Gray does point out that the delayed Molotov is literally just an incendiary grenade.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess. Question mark.
Ah,
It
yes.
has a
Thank
type.
you. Thank you for posting the Dota Fate Apocrypha across, Gray.
You're
We'll
welcome.
make a one-shot chapter of that, and we'll include that in the Devil's Scrapyard that I'm gonna post with all of the other stories that never got off the ground. The doll was the one who had brought her back to sanity by using my blah blah. We always said that stuff. Blah 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 blah. For they were greater than human. Blah blah. I was talking about that. Good blah blah. From the whispers of her prestigious manser in the nightmare-laden sleep to the knowledge of Bergenworth, the church and the fishing hamlet, to Murgo and the schools of Mensis, you have managed to not capitalize fucking any of this, author. To the choir, still not capitalized. None of this is fucking capitalized. You gave her Britatatis the fucking capitalization, but not anything else, apparently. Fucking retard. I swear to God. What do they teach in English these days? The only great one left behind, also not capitalized. The only one to be spared her hunt. The only thing she could say wasn't a threat. I'm pretty sure the doll is actually an existential threat, but, you know, we're going to move past that.
The doll is actually one of the most threatening things. But
Yeah. She also, I do like the theory that I found that the doll is actually an extension of Odeon, and I'm like, oh. Oh, that makes sense, actually. You guys ever come across that theory?
Nope.
Not really
No.
looking at Bloodborne theories.
Oh, well,
Oh.
yeah, the theory goes that because the doll is hosting an unknown consciousness, and can channel blood echoes, that the assumption is that it has to do something with Odeon. Because Odeon's also formless, that means there's no reason that it can't split a splinter of itself off to control the doll. And it would make the most sense that the one great one associated with blood the most is the one that can channel blood echoes to make someone stronger. So, also the fact that the doll survives past Flora dying does kind of give hints that the doll has nothing to do with Flora.
The doll was guarded by Gehrman because he's a creepy old pervert.
Yes, but it was animated by something. Because you do find the doll's physical body in Gurman's old workshop in the real world, but clearly something is animating the doll. And it
you know what?
It wasn't Flora.
It's probably
because
just friendly and wants a hug.
I mean, honestly, probably. I mean, you could honestly interpret all of the shit that happens as the Great One Odeon not really understanding people. You know, people come to Odeon asking for blood. Odeon's like, I'm the fucking formless god made of blood. Here's some blood. You love blood? Here's plenty of blood. And then everyone goes insane and crazy, and Odeon, being one of blood, doesn't really understand what it did wrong. And so it's kind of just like, what do? Why is everyone crazy now? I don't understand.
But will there be blood?
There will definitely be blood. And you'll definitely be standing there looking at the man in the mirror nodding his head.
Epic.
I'll get the theory this much. That would go quite a ways
Uh,
towards explaining the young great one ending.
Yeah,
Her
Flora.
continuing to exist past that point.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Because everyone's like, okay, well, all the great ones are basically dissipated besides the amygdala, and the only one you never actually fought was Odeon. And so the doll existing past all of the great ones dissipating temporarily, if
Yeah. Well, I
if
know
not
Waiden's
permanently.
always kind of been like implied to be sort of maybe not friendly, but certainly not hostile.
Yeah,
Closest thing to neutral you get in Bloodborne.
yeah, definitely neutral. Flora
Not
is
actively trying to
the moon
eat your
presence,
face.
the creature that owns the hunter's dream. Flora
I
is
always
the
forget
moon.
that thing's name is Flora.
Yeah, Flora, the moon presence.
Not very friendly.
No.
Not very threatening, no, but it is very threatening once it comes down to
No, I
rape
said
you.
not very friendly.
Oh, I was gonna say
It's
yes.
threatening as fuck, regardless of how it exists.
I suppose, yeah. Where'd you get that name from? Canon. The named Flora.
Yep.
Where do we find that? Where was that
That
name
was
figured out?
that was from the doll. Oh, actually saying a prayer. It's up at the
Oh,
top of Gravestone.
okay. I I don't remember a name being mentioned during that prayer, but I do know the prayer.
Find Flora. Oh yeah, the doll says, "Oh Flora of the moon of the dream."
Huh.
Yeah. And that's literally the only time it's ever fucking mentioned.
Yes.
Because apparently in the Japanese version, it's not called the moon presence; it's called Flora.
That makes sense.
Damn it, localization.
Fair enough.
Why do localization teams make such weird decisions?
Oh yeah, speaking of localization, did you guys hear about what happened with Elden Ring?
Uh, oh, with Ronnie's ending being fucked up in the
Ronnie's
interpretation.
ending was absolutely obliterated by localization. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
apparently
mean?
it went from being like a weird technically one of the, well, not really bad ending, but it becomes a much better ending.
But yeah.
Because what was the actual thing? You just begin a 1,000-year journey or something?
Basically, it was, I'm going to take all of the power, I'm going to take all of this order, all of this structure, and I'm going to remove it from the world so people can learn how to be without something controlling their lives. And we will take a 1,000-year journey away from the people to allow them to find out who they are, and that they should no longer fear the nighttime, they should no longer fear the cold, and that they should, adventure out and learn about the world.
Yeah, which the ending becomes so much better when it's like, oh no, you're literally just you're literally encouraging the delete the nest.
Yeah.
It's a much better ending than what the English translation gave us.
Yeah. It's just like, wait. I mean, Ronnie ending is still best ending, but it's just like, wait, so you're fucking telling me the English ending was just so fucking omega botched? It's like, god damn it, translators. I fucking swear, you have one fucking job, and that's to translate the Japanese into English. And you can't even do that.
Here's the problem, Sneaky. Something I've noticed when it comes to translating fictional media, it requires a certain artistic flair that is sorely lacking in a lot of translators these days.
Yeah.
There's a certain spark of creativity that's needed for certain things, because I did see the translation breakdown. I'm like, okay, you know what? This would definitely require someone to have read a shit ton of fiction and absorbed the general rules of creative writing to have been able to
Well, not
accurately
just creative
translate
writing, but
this.
also philosophy.
That probably would have helped in this case too, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this whole bunch of cringe ass shit. blah blah blah, mentors, blah blah blah. She pitied Gurnham, and Gurnham is like, I'll now free you, and she's like, yo, wait, what? But if I get freed, who will free you? And then
Who frees me?
then they're like, all right, let's fight, and then they fight, and then yeah, so then she kills Gurnham, and then she accepts the moon presence into her existence. And then suddenly, turns out she's going for the moon presence ending, in which she then fights the moon presence, and then wakes up as a great one. And in the 4th chapter, she wakes up in Ruby.
Oh,
Okay, that's a sequence of events.
Yeah, it took a whole 4
Unfortunate.
chapters to finally get to the part where the Ruby crossover occurred.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have been done after the first chapter, because the first chapter should have just opened up with fighting Flora and you describing your
Yeah, there's
powder
literally
keg
no
hunters.
there's literally no
Doing that.
reason. Like, normally I could understand if you want to give some, preemptive background to your character's thought processes or etc. But we literally learned nothing about the character in the first chapter besides what weapon they used. We didn't learn what clothes they had on. We didn't learn how they thought. We didn't learn how they fight. All we know is they use a boom hammer, and that they like spamming quickening, and they like using the cannon.
all
Yeah.
in all, a bad human being.
Yes, very much
Yes.
so. And that didn't really tell us much of anything. So you know what? Let's do fairy. You know what? We haven't done a fairy tale. We haven't done fairy tale in a while. Long while. Very long while.
For
You know,
a good
I'd have
reason.
given
Yeah,
I'd
for a good reason.
given a couple of points if they did the Margot fight,
Yeah.
but when they went to go back to the Hunter's Dream, that's when they just teleported to Remnant. Like, that was the end of the dream. You don't even get the final
I would actually
in-game sequence.
I would actually say, instead of teleporting to the Hunter's Dream, they killed Murgo, and then everything starts like falling apart around them, and then they wake up in Ruby.
Yeah, that would have been fine too.
Yeah.
And you could even, if you really want to play around with that, you could probably have some sequences later in the story where something is clearly going fucky with the dream because you're still seeing Gurman and the doll in weird flashes or
Right,
something.
exactly. Well, and not only that, it's like, so technically by lore canon, you killing Rom was supposed to basically make parts of the world fall apart, hiding the blood moon and all of that stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. When I found out what Rom's purpose was, I'm like, oh my god, I've never felt so bad about killing a boss in
right.
Bloodborne.
Yeah.
This is the one boss that you should never have done this to. Rom was doing nothing except saving the fucking world.
But at the same time, she kind of wasn't, because the problem is that while she was stopping the Nightmare of Mensis from doing their rituals, and from the Blood Moon from emerging, she was also preventing anyone from getting to the Nightmare of Mensis.
I know.
She was
Well, it was a
effectively
weird
stone
catch.
wall.
It was a weird catch 22.
Right, and
Like,
ultimately,
on the one hand, she's preventing things from getting worse, but she's also preventing them from getting better.
yeah. And so, honestly, lore-wise, the world's supposed to fall around you, and you're supposed to wake up in the real Yarnum, quote-unquote, which is the Blood
Yeah,
Moon
which
Yarnum.
is significant. Well, yeah.
I say quote-unquote for a reason.
Yeah.
And so you could totally use that in where you kill Murgo, who is supposedly sustaining this whole nightmare dream thing, and have that fall around you, and then you end up in another world where that's the real world, or maybe just another layer of the dream of another great one that you need to slay. Yeah, you could certainly 100% totally do that. Very easy. But of course, the normal average author is too incompetent to think of such things. I use author
course.
with very, very liberal definition. Alright, so let's see this garbage here. The Thunder God and Celestial Goddess. Note, if you have not read the 100-Year Quest, please skip to Chapter 2. There is a recap in that chapter, so you know what's going on. After waiting years, Lucy and Loxus are finally able to confess that they love each other. Lucy times Loxus, porn.
Great.
Hooray.
Does it actually say that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's a report.
Well, not directly, just as lemons, but
Which is just porn.
we all know
That's
what it means.
still a report.
Look, Arn, saying there's lemons in your story is saying, like, you're not a pedophile, you're just attracted to people that aren't of age.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it
I'm not a
wasn't
murderer.
exactly.
I just happen to point weapons
Yeah,
towards people who
No,
think it's
I'm
okay
not
to like
a
children.
murderer. I just happened to seize the life of other people.
Yeah.
For vast sums of
I was
income.
saying you were wrong. I'm just saying that's not the word he used specifically.
Yeah, I know, but
Not that it makes any difference,
it
but,
is the definition, though. Nowadays,
Yeah.
the term is minor attracted person. I already made that joke, Isley.
I don't care what the
I'm
term
like 10
is.
years ahead of you in making that joke. Oh yeah, so but speaking of which, John Hopkins fucking hired someone that's a pedophile. And I was like, wow, that's weird for John Hopkins. And then I did more research into it, and apparently John Hopkins has a history of hiring pedophiles to continuously push the envelope of sexualization of children. Yeah, because apparently John Hopkins was also the institute that funded John Money, the rapist pedophile that raped the young boy, and then forced other people to rape him, and then asked the young boy if he felt like a girl yet.
Yeah.
Which, funny story, is where we get the modern definition of gender from, which is why I don't like using the definition of gender, period, ever. Because I don't want to continue supporting a rapist pedophile's work.
Work in very strong air quotes.
I mean, he was paid for the raping pedophilia.
Yeah. I just, don't like using that word for, yeah, no.
Yeah, I know, that's fair enough. Glances! Levy McGarden has always been the smart, quiet book nerd. While her friends still love her, she feels like she's missing something. When she runs into the school bad boy... Jesus fucking Christ. Gajeel Red Fox in the library and discovers his secret. Everything starts to change. Gajeel times Levy, no magic high school AU.
Yes, of course.
That's what you come to the fairy tale section for, right, guys? You come to the fairy tale section about the mages fighting each other for a no magic AU?
Why, of course.
Yeah. Oh, God. I'm gonna drink a shot of Spiritus.
He's going in.
These fucking polls, I swear.
Yeah.
Atin, you know Polish. What's the word for cheers?
Not no Polish. I work with a lot of
Kurwa.
Polish people. I can tell you the word. I can say thank you, and that's about it.
It's Sneaky, it's Kurwa.
Kurwa!
That is no. That is Sneaky. That is decidedly untrue. I know enough Polish to tell you that.
I know what it is.
It's cool we do a little trolling.
Look, I have played with enough Polish people to know that's not what that word is.
Yeah.
Listen, with the frequency that my electrical buyer says it, I can tell you it's not a polite word.
Woo!
Not because my electrical buyer isn't a nice man, but because he
Holy
has the worst
shit!
job.
Woo!
Yep.
Dear God, that burns.
It's different.
That's what she said?
I mean, yes. I physically feel the back of my neck being disinfected.
Yeah, maybe that's why
Technically,
you
if
haven't
you drink
gotten
enough
corona,
alcohol,
Sneaky.
you don't have to wash your teeth because it cleans your mouth.
Actually,
Exactly.
technically speaking, that is true if you drink certain types of alcohol.
Of which I'm willing to bet Sneaky is drinking the correct kind.
Vodka and spiritus, yes. Holy shit. I actively feel my tonsils being cleaned.
No, Sneaky, that would be your tonsils being destroyed.
No, cleaned. They're still there. It's just, they're
Very
going in like the
thoroughly
Imperium.
The planet's
clean.
clean. Also, you can't go here for another 2,000 years.
Of course,
Wow, I thought I was falling asleep before. I'm awake now. Also, all of the spiritus remnants have already evaporated from my shot glass. 90% alcohol doesn't fuck around.
96, yeah.
Whew. Is it really 96?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is 96.
Yep.
192 proof. Ooh, I
That's,
wasn't kidding when I
numbers.
said I felt like my tonsils were being cleaned. Like there's, Jesus Christ. I salute any bacteria that survived that purge. You deserve to live in my throat.
Yeah, 99.7% bacteria killed.
Master of
0.3%.
Demons! During the fight with Tartaros, Natsu is tasked by his father Igniel to retrieve a book. Wait, what the? Isn't Igniel fucking dead?
Is this some weird AU?
Fucking apparently. Against Igniel's wishes, he opens the demon book. The next steps become obvious. He murders Mardgeir, he takes over Tartarus, and rebuilds the Dark Guild. Why is that obvious? With Minerva by his side, he plans to fill the ranks with half-demons. All of them women. Natsu times Minerva times massive harem. There's going to be lots of porn. I'm gonna be real with you all three. That's kind of cringe.
Yeah, looks like Max is gonna get some good use of that report button.
Yeah. Fae Tales, set in the modern AU, we find ourselves at the heart of Magnolia City, a city whose residents were notorious for their drug addictions. Alcohol, gambling, and sex, what would normally be kept private, was open and accepted. So, Las Vegas?
Oh, yes. Las Vegas.
Yet this tale is one of romance, about finding love where you least expect it.
Average American inner city.
Las Vegas?
Pretty much.
This is canon. Igniel was quasi-sealed to Natsu due to something with something. Agnolia. Oh, yeah, okay. Still, they were not, like, sentient until way later, as far as I'm aware, because I don't, even, like, I read up to the Grand Tournament arc, and they were not. They were not there. They were not active. Also, holy shit, did that dry my throat out.
I wonder why.
Hmm. Who could have seen this coming?
Family ties. You all know the
Uh-oh.
stories about Lucy being related to Mira and her siblings. What?
What now?
Do we?
I don't.
I
Hmm.
don't. Uh, I didn't
It's news to me.
realize this was. Yeah, I didn't realize this was a thing. Also, how? Also, the stories where she's related to Sting? Who the fuck is Sting? What if that was the whole truth, but Lucy was also step siblings with Mira?
Hmm.
Oh no. I've been on the internet long enough to know where this is going.
Oh, no, stepsister.
How will life be different in this normal AU fairy tale? What do you mean normal AU?
Oh.
The fuck does that mean? How will her life
normally.
change when she's 4
Oh,
years
no.
old? How will she make friends? Who will she fall in love with? Mystery romance. This story is Lucy times Natsu. Um. Oh.
Hmm.
au- au-
Hmm.
Author.
Hmm.
Um.
That's what I call a spoiler.
Um. uh.
Hmm. Okay, so I think by normal AU they just mean like real life AU. Because I haven't watched Fairy Tail. I know basically nothing about it, but apparently they drive away in a car at the end of this chapter. Is that a normal thing?
No, that's a very rare thing usable only by mages.
Yeah, excellent.
The only mystery is what mental
hmm.
damage you need to have to enjoy this effect. That's very true. Also,
Yeah,
so speaking of
all of
random
them.
topics, right? So I went to try and buy some ammo today for my rifle, right? But my rifle is chambered in 357, which is considered a pistol caliber, right, by the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
And for some
mean, it is.
reason, I need a pistol license to buy ammo for my rifle.
Yeah. I mean, it is technically a pistol caliber.
Yeah, but the 357 was chambered in that, like, around the same time the revolver was invented.
Exactly. That's what it was invented for.
But point being is, though, I know, but the lever action in the 357 revolver came around at about the same time.
Yeah.
But point being is that I can't get a pistol license in the city of New Jersey because I don't own a pistol. So I can't buy ammo for my rifle because I don't own a pistol.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Yeah, I want to fucking move to Texas or something.
It's cheap down here.
I imagine. One of the biggest fucking oil refineries in the fucking U.S.
Based.
1K rent a month for a good apartment.
That's fairly low, man. I mean, honestly, if anything, if I was moving to some place, I would probably say fuck apartments and just get a prefab home.
Fair enough.
I mean, they range around like, look, you get 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms out of them usually, around 1,000 square feet. As someone who's single, that's a lot of space.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the average mobile prefab home, because they're called mobile homes, but they're not actually like trailers. The average mobile home costs between 20 to 50K, which is crazy cheap. I mean, yeah, you do have to pay lot rent, but that also is, included with utilities, usually your electric bill, your heating bill, your water bill, your trash bill, your property tax, and occasionally your basic cable bill, but you can usually upgrade your cable bill, but you have to pay extra for that. But all of that combined together usually comes out to around an $800 to $1,000 lot rent. So I mean, it's fucking really good. It's a great option because like the one thing with apartments that I hate with apartments is the fact that you live next to people. I don't want to live next to people. I hate living next to people. And I'm okay
Well,
with...
hold on. Hang on. Let's be clear. You hate people. Also, you hate living next to people.
Yes, but those are two separate issues. I hate living next to people specifically because then they all get on my ass and, oh, Sneaky, stop shouting at 3 a.m. Fuck you! I'm going to shout whatever point in time I want.
Based.
No, that just makes you an asshole.
Yeah, well, what if I work night shift?
What if he wants to be an asshole? It's fucking America. What are you gonna do about it?
I don't know. Kill him?
I thought this was America.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, fair enough in America.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You can just straight up buy cheap lots if you go fucking around the country, delinquent tax real estates. Yeah. Yeah, mobile homes are honestly like the sleeper among our generation because mobile homes...
they're a trap, Sneaky.
How are they a trap, Atin?
Because
they have dicks.
Most people will get a mobile home, go to a cheap lot, and then they will because you have to connect your mobile home to all of the utilities there.
Yeah.
And then, oops, your rent went up. Oops, your rent went up. Oops, your rent went up. Oops, you can't pay to leave now. Like, there are entire segments of the companies that rent the lot. Like, it's like how to continue to raise rents when your tenants tell you they can't afford it.
Yeah, I get that, but apartment complexes can do the same thing unless the local state has rent freeze rent freeze laws in place, which most states don't.
No, they don't. But like at
so
least
renting's no better.
I mean it is because at least then you don't have a physical house you're going to lose. Like, right? Like they might own their mobile homes, but they don't own the land it sits on, and so then they get evicted, but they can't pay to move their house. So then the company repossesses their house because it's squatting on their land. Like it's a much bigger trap. Like at least like you can't afford your apartment, they evict you and they kick you out on the street, but you keep your possessions.
Guess.
Well, it's very simple.
So
Just
when you
don't
say
report.
it's being slept on, yes, it's being slept on because it's a fucking trap and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's for it's 9 o'clock. All right, so I guess
A different day.
Let's see if we can't find a single fairy tale story worth reading and then not read it. Lucy leaves her boyfriend. Modern AU, no magic. Alexandra Brown's isekai fictional universe. Set in the ancient times AU with medieval AU of all of the characters. Cringe. And Rube Fairy Tale, The Next Generation. All of the kids of the characters of Fairy Tale. All of them are OCs. Let's play the quiet game. AU. Modern. No magic. Gajil's team is actually all detectives working for the police hunting down a serial killer.
That could be kind of interesting.
a child. No, it's a non-magic modern AU where Gajeel's team is a detective agency. That's fucking stupid.
I mean, no. Here's the thing. I can see if they lean super hard, like keep the characters with their personality, but lean super hard into like the ultra noir, Gajeel would be a hilarious gumshoe.
He would be, but what the fuck's the point of reading a fairy tale story if there's not gonna be magic?
Yes, I get what you're saying. I'm just like,
Child of a demigod, Makarov didn't only find Natsu, he also found an self-insert OC named Kenma McBlaze. And he's the son of a god. And they go on wild adventures, and then Kenma romances Urza.
Kenma who?
Kenma balls.
True.
This is the story where Natsu is betrayed by all of Fairy Tail, and they frame him for crimes he didn't commit and betray him really hard, and so now he commits revenge upon them.
I see.
I'm going to Kermit sewer slide.
Fucking a
No.
bunch of AU shit, like literally a bunch of AU. Nasha Dragneel, daughter of Natsu and Lucy, Next Generation AU.
Bro, what is this, Boracle?
Yeah, it's this Boracle.
Baraka balls.
Barack my balls across your face.
Barack Obama.
Fairy Adventures, a 4 million. Holy shit!
God motherfucking damn.
The thing.
Fairy Adventures, in the new era after the Alvarez War, which I assume is like the end of Fairy Tail or something.
Fairy Tale never ends.
Lucy, Natsu, and the rest of Fairy Tail not only face new challenges, but they all have sex and have kids. And the kids grow up and go on journeys, and they get new powers and battle new enemies. Join Luna, Nashi, and the upcoming generation of Fairy Tail on their now new never-ending adventure. 144 motherfucking chapters. 4,700,000 words, ongoing over the past 5 years. This dude put out nearly 1 million fucking words a year.
Well, that is,
That is dedication.
10
Yeah.
books a year.
They're probably shit.
oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
dedication.
50
a lot of shit.
motherfucking books of Fairy Tail AU! Bro, please, for the love of God, write your own damn story! Because you know what? No one's fucking interested. 224 favorites. Imagine writing a story for 5 years, writing 50 books for it, and then only 200 people saying they enjoy it.
That's like one favorite every 20,000 words.
Bro!
damn.
Just
The
write
hell?
your own story, please!
Yeah, this guy gets an average 1.5 favorites per chapter. Jesus, dude.
Fucking hell, man, that's... Holy
Wow.
shit. Like 5
mean-
years too, so what's that? 5 times 12, so 60, so he gets about 2 chapters a year. No. 20 chapters a year. No. Yeah, 20 chapters a year.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, no, hang on. 4 years. Yeah, well, 5 years. I don't know, yeah.
Too fucking many.
27? 6?
Okay, so 27 chapters a year.
Something like that, yeah.
And
Almost 30.
how long is each chapter? Was it
Average of about 30k.
30k word chapters. This dude puts out 27 30k chapters a year. Holy shit! And he's got 200 people favoriting his story. Bro, please, for your own sake, please, just write your own shit, because no one is interested. Like, I can understand on a level, I get it, you know, you want to use a fan base that already exists so you can get people looking at your stuff. I think with the direction you took this story, you would get more eyes on it if you wrote your own shit and posted it to Royal Road.
Yeah.
Because it's actually even worse than that, because he's got even less followers.
Oof.
How?
I mean, you gotta respect the dedication, but like still,
you
right.
respect the
Okay,
dedication.
yes, on some level you do, but fuck them.
Yeah, no, Jesus Christ.
Oh, wait, chapter 140. Hold on, chapter 143.
Bro, I swear it gets better in a chapter 143. Motherfucker out here writing One Piece.
Chapter 143, this dude is still making chapter breaks that are literally songs in Japanese.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Urgent delivery. It's a pipe bomb.
What the fuck are these chapter breaks, bruh? Oh my god. Bruh, please. Oh god.
Christ.
What the fuck? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
Hey, I think it's time for us to go.
I will officially
Yes.
be posting these. He's writing a second story.
Oh no.
What is the point of writing a second story at this point when you've got that many words? Like, just keep one.
Well, these stories will now be officially posted to AO3 with FA posted tonight. However, AO3 will be receiving version 2 of Fairy Adventure. Once all 4 episodes are up and revised, both AO3 and FFN Fairy Adventures will also be revised. Reading the beginning of my works is difficult. I'm happy to say that I've improved greatly over the years of posting this story. Thank you for all of your support. Also, my chibi version of myself winks at you and says, "See you next time."
Autism?
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh no.
Oh my god, he's got so many stories. Oh. It's a 200k word story. Oh, it was published the 2nd of February. Oh, it's a 200k word story that has gained 200k words over the past 3 months. Jesus fucking please.
Look at the fucking. Oh no. 8 reviews, 8 favorites, 8 follows. No.
200k words, 8 favorites.
You know, you almost gotta feel bad for him.
No.
Almost.
No.
Like,
remember,
goddamn.
the mutant, the heretic, and the Xenos do not deserve your pity, for they are bereft of the Emperor's light.
What are the reviews on this? There are sure lots of stuff written here. You write Igneal's a child really well, I have to say. The torture scene was skin crawling. You asked for constructive criticism, so...
I would like those to not be words in the same...
There are times when you use colors as nouns in places of eyes, and it might just be me, but that's very confusing. When you mention that it changes into colors, it works, but otherwise sentences don't make sense when you use them the way they use them. When it comes to mentioning how eyes widened or glinted, I don't think you should mention the color of the eyes often. Oh, Jesus. On the occasions it works, but it feels really weird to read "the emerald eyes widened." Oh no, the eyes part's implied. It feels distant to read "the emerald widened." Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bruh.
This dude has written nearly 5.5 million words and still has not grasped the English language in its most basic functions.
Yes, truly, he is accursed.
You know, my spirit feels bolstered. I feel stronger now, knowing there is someone worse in the world than me.
Oh, there's a lot of people worse than you out there, Sneaky. And that is a terrifying statement.
Yeah. And for those coming in without knowing the eye color of the characters ahead of time, it's very weird when you just mention the color of their eyes without ever saying their eyes included in the word color. Oh, so he just goes straight up like their emerald widened. And it's just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck does that mean? Ah, yes, their diamond widened. The ruby widened. The rose widened. The what?
Motherfucker out there like Minecraft inflation mod.
As for
Don't look
regular
that up.
concrete, that doesn't have to do with fandom blindness. There are times when you use words and then use words of the same type again shortly after, which works sometimes, but oftentimes not. When you're editing, make sure to check if someone's gaze darkens or if they cross arms or sit down. So they don't do it twice in a row. Oh yeah, so he's saying like people sit down and then they sit down again in a later sentence.
Bruh.
Your writing is
My
really
brother in
good
Christ,
otherwise.
you have already sat down.
I think it's funny. This person wrote 200k words and they didn't get a single actual review. They just got a bunch of guest reviewers, which for all we know is the same person.
Yeah.
You know what, Jin?
mean-
That's fair enough and I can't even blame you.
True.
I
If your diamond widens,
was
yeah.
an Igneal times Lucy shipper, but now I'm an Igneal times Anna shipper. What? Did Igneal really quit Fairy Tail? The Magnia Dragon Guild? What?
The fuck?
So this
is
is the
going on?
disappearance of Igneal Dragneal. The side story to Fairy Tail Adventure. Oh, Jesus Christ. Igneal left his home to train under his uncle to lead the next generation of dragons. What? Anna times Ignea? What? I don't even know what's happening. These are canon characters? What the fuck? I don't know what's happening anymore in these stories. I don't know what's happening in Fairy Tail anymore.
I am chugging the rest of my vodka Red Bull.
My eyes are wide shut.
Uh.
I gotta say. My eyes are wide shut. I don't know what's happening anymore. We're just gonna close out of that, and we're just gonna leave on that note. We'll see you guys on
Regular.
Tuesday. There's always more, and it always gets worse.